Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Awesome Naya. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video. Black people, you knew what this video is all about because you all have been screaming this thing for so long. Now she was talking about, I think she's into healthcare and all that. And then she got a job and they are telling them to remove. If you see a name that doesn't look like a, remove it. It must be a black person so that they won't get the adequate care or adequate medical whatever they send that you are needed. This is actually not new. Black people knew it because when black people started screaming about medical racism, you people thought it was a joke. It is not joke. All those things has been happening for so long. Medical racism is a thing that people have refused to acknowledge. It is happening. Black people are experiencing it firsthand, secondhand, all of it. And now I am sure you all have noticed that it's been a lot of hate crime going on towards people that look like me. And it is so much. It is not something, it is so much at this point in time. Now, some people are also pew-pewing and all that. All I can say is that you all already know the kind of people you've been living with for decades. I am glad you know them better than they know you. So continue to do what you are supposed to do. And please make sure you have your baby around you. When I say your baby, that your pew-pew. Clean it all the time. Have it with you. Let's get into this video.
Black people. I had my first day today at a new job, and basically, without going too far into it, my job is to schedule care for people that need it. A lot of this job is going through applications for people who want to give care. I learned today, if it is a name that does not sound white, we are to move it to the completed tasks. We then note your application as moved due to name standards. Now, it's my first day, so I ask, what does that mean? I'm black, very light-skinned, obviously. And she says, and I said, you mean like our names? Like our names? Because I thought it was like a brand standard, like, no, it's literally our names. So I just want you to know, and everybody else to know, this 100% happens, and
you haven't told us anything we don't know. I mean, it might be news to you, but it's not to the rest of us. Take jobs. Black people have done it. They'll apply to multiple jobs. No response, no response. And then they'll decide, you know what? 2 resumes. Same exact thing. Difference is name change. One has a black name, one has a white name, preferably Jewish name. Send it in. The Jewish guy always gets called in for an interview. Always. So it's nothing you said that.
I said it before, and I'm going to say it again because my last page got deleted. Look, I don't want to see no white people on my timeline. I don't believe y'all. I don't trust y'all. I know y'all don't like us. I know y'all only tolerate us because it's the law. Because if slavery was back into the law, y'all would be the first ones signing up trying to see how y'all would get y'all a slave. I don't trust y'all at all. I don't want to see none of y'all on my timeline. I know some of y'all are not racist, but majority of y'all are. If you were raised and taught in America, the great Jane Elliott said, you're racist. Because the systems in America is racist. Racism is not just calling somebody a name and calling somebody. That's prejudice. Racism is a system. And until you can dismantle it by using your privilege and speaking out and marching on the streets and calling your family members and friends out, I don't want to see none of y'all on my timeline. I appreciate the folks that's speaking out and trying to be woke and trying to awaken your counterparts, but I honestly don't want to see y'all on my timeline. I immediately not interested, because it's been going on too long. Come on now, I'm 36 years old and we still dealing with racism in 2025? Come on now, you still judging people by their skin color? Come on! That is a mental illness. Something is seriously wrong with your community where you are judging a whole other community based on the way that they look, based on the way that God created them to be. But you call yourself a Christian nation, but you're judging people the way that God made them? Something's not right. Something's not right. And I'm concerned. And I don't want any involvement. I don't want to see you all on my timeline. I don't want to be gaslit anymore. We know what's going on. You know what's going on. And we need you to speak up. Call these people out. I'm tired of seeing these videos on my timeline where we're being harassed and traumatized by your people. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Do you know that when doctors are being prepared for war, they send those doctors to hospitals in black communities in particular? Because the type of trauma that those doctors are going to experience in war-torn countries, that's the type of trauma they're going to see in black communities. Understand the logic here. Disinvestment, trauma, crime. Investment, healthy, whole, and safe. I want healthy, whole, and safe. And that requires me to invest in those communities. The Sustainable Community Schools model is the model for the future. Remember, we're coming out of an era of privatization, school closures, the dismantling of the workforce. Now we're moving in a direction where the community actually gets to play a part in the overall direction of how a school shows up for that particular community. Don't you think that's a worthwhile investment to ensure that parents are empowered in the direction of their child's education? Don't you think that's the best type of investment where children actually receive full wraparound services, particularly in neighborhoods where trauma is quite pervasive and rampant? And so these circumstances and conditions in which too many people are living in, I don't want people to take this lightly and for granted. That to question our investment in communities that have been historically disinvested in, I actually find that to be, quite frankly, if I'm being dishonest, I actually find it to be appalling. We should never question when we're investing in people who are barely breaking even every single day. The cumulative wealth of black folks is $0, and people are questioning whether or not we should invest in those communities. So I'm going to continue to do that, and we're going to continue to work with the state of Illinois to make sure that, this headline one day reads that the state of Illinois showed up for the people of Chicago with $1.6 billion. I thank you all.
There you have it. Someone had to say it. I just wanted to highlight the part where he says, before going to war, they send doctors to trauma hospitals in the black community. If that's not more proof of how brutal and evil we are to each other, I don't know what else is. But we'll never do that to the people who do it to us. And instead, we'll be coping, oh, we're not like them. We're nice people. We're just not evil. We're evil as fuck. We're so evil that when someone is going to war, to prepare for war as a doctor, they send them to hospitals in the black community, because that's what we do to each other. You see black people, you hear it, oh, yo, I cut his face so he can remember me. I did this, I did that, I did that. Suddenly, when it's a white man now, and everybody suddenly backs down. The man that killed Trayvon Martin sold guns. He's still out there signing autographs with this kid's face on it. None of you niggas have stepped up. Not one. But you could check a nigga on your block, though. You could tell a black man not to say shit. You could tell a black man not to... You could kill another black man easy. But George Zimmerman... No. Zimmerman, as soon as y'all see me, y'all gonna back down. Oh, no.
They called me an angry black woman. Not for yelling or cursing, but for telling the truth. Here's the irony. I've seen physicians, other health professionals, faculty, patients raise their voices, slam charts, walk out. But I raise racism in healthcare, and suddenly I'm a threat. Here's how medical racism hides. It's who gets to be loud, who gets to be unprofessional, who gets listened to. And when educators like me challenge it, we get targeted. If we want different care, we need different classrooms, different clinic rooms, different TikTok rooms. Here's something you can do today. Stand with educators who speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. I'm Steph Lurch. I disrupt injustice in healthcare. Follow for more truth-telling, because medicine needs medicine too.
Respectfully, I hate when you come across my For You page, not gonna lie. It makes me feel so awful to be black. I already know medical racism exists. This literally hurts to listen to. Okay, so someone left a comment saying my videos make them feel awful to be black, that hearing these stories just hurts. And I want to start by saying I get that. It is painful to see example after example of someone who looks like you being dismissed, being mistreated, or being denied care, especially when the outcomes are tragic. That emotional weight is real, and I would never, ever ignore that. But I also need to be clear. I don't share these stories to create fear. I share them to create awareness, because what's even more dangerous than feeling overwhelmed is being unaware, walking into a hospital or a doctor's office and not realizing that your concerns might not be taken seriously, that your symptoms might be misread, that you might be sent home when you should have been treated. And that risk is higher if you're Black. Every story I share is real. These are not hypothetical cases. These are not made up examples. They're real people, people who deserved better. I tell their stories to humanize the issue, to put names and faces to the disparities we often talk about in abstract terms. And when you hear me talk about data, it's not to scare you, it's to ground the story, to show you that what happened to one person is part of a larger pattern, and that's exactly why it matters. So I'm here to say, this is happening, it's real, and the more we understand it, the better we can protect ourselves, the better we can protect our families, and the better we can protect our communities. Because if we don't talk about the patterns, we cannot interrupt them. This isn't about spreading fear, it's about shining light. And once we see clearly, we can never go back to not knowing. So as always, healing starts with knowing. Follow for more.
Because of racism in the medical field, there's a belief that Black women can have a higher pain tolerance. How is someone supposed to advocate for themselves when the doctor believes something like that?
Exactly. And, it's been seen in several other studies that Black patients in general are less likely to be offered pain medication for things like appendicitis, broken bones. And Black women are less likely to be offered, say, like minimally invasive surgery for things like fibroids, et cetera. So, it is important to advocate for yourself.
I am sure you all may have been seeing so many hate crimes or pew-pew towards people that look like me recently since this administration started. Not like it has not been happening. It's been happening. But recently, it's been so much going on. From them wanting to probably beat Black people and also ended up being beaten. Now, that first video, it's not like Black people do not know. Yeah, Black people knew all this. Right? But the truth is that when Black people tell other people that these are happening, they find it hard. Some will start asking questions or silly questions or making jokes out of it. Black people been knew long time ago that when they go to apply for some, like let's say for some job, and if your name is Black, you are not getting that job. And I have brought so many videos here too about young Black men and women saying how they've been going through it, trying to get a job. Probably not until they try to change their name to something. And that is when they might get a call. Now, healthcare is not exempted too. It's everywhere. Just for being Black. Are they not tired? Because I am tired. Are they not tired? Because at this point, I am weak. People that look like me are targeted everywhere. And I am also going to use this opportunity to let us know that you really do have to also be very careful with the things you do, how you go out and all that. Be very watchful, because I remember bringing a video of a man who said he wants to 30,000 people. Right? The truth is that I do not know the people he made that plan with. He might have talked that with his people that have the same mindset as him. Right? And he is in the prison now. Where are the people he discussed that kind of discussion? Where are the people he had that kind of discussions with? They are still outside roaming around. And who are going to still fall victims? People that look like me, just for no reason. Truck drivers missing. This missing. This one, pew-pew. The hospital not helping. Everywhere. Black people are the target. Did you do anything? You haven't done anything. They just do not care because of you. There are some things you hear, you ask yourself, is this true? There are some things I talk with my friends. I talk about we'll sit down, we'll talk about racism. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've been having really important and solid conversations with my friends. And they are like, how is this even okay? This is not okay. My friend went to United States when? On the 1st. Okay, she arrived on the 2nd of August. She was held at immigration for 2 hours plus. Yeah. She's been visiting US. It's not like it's her first time or second or third time. She's been visiting United States of America. She was held for 2 hours plus. She said she had it tough. So most of these videos we'll bring here, sometimes we'll think there are stories, but my people knew there are not stories because this is actually the things that they see that happen. And I also know it is not story because also it has happened to someone that is very close to me. Man, it is crazy at that point. Very crazy. But I really do hope that it gets better. The best I can say is I really do love my people, and please be very careful. And what? Make sure you have that. You know what I am talking about. There are some places, as long as you have the license, there are some places you have to be. Make sure you have your baby close to you. Clean it well. These people aren't smiling. And you also have to tell them that you've got no joy too. Aura for aura. That is what it's called. Baby, if you give it to me, I give it to you back. Black people ain't here to joke anymore. Don't mess around with me and think you're going to get away with it. You ain't getting away with it. Right? Yeah. So please continue to keep holding on. I don't know, but continue to hold on the way you've been holding on. You all are doing amazingly great. And continue to strategize like we talked from the beginning. That you said that, you are going to strategize. Always on code. Bye for now.